Hello, celestially growing family, because we're all celestial. Today I have something special for you guys. I usually get to talk with you guys about growth, spiritually and emotionally. However, today I want to give you guys a special preview of my next big project called I'm Finally Doing This. Anyone who has known me for a while might have some familiarity with this title. In 2020, I had started a podcast based on music reviews and sharing my experiences with the music. So, allow me to reintroduce I'm Finally Doing This. A podcast all about the music I love and what I love about it. I'll be doing deep dives on my favorite artists and the projects they have dropped. Expect to hear things from everybody, from Beyonce to Never Shout Never, as I blend in important experiences with the music with explanations of the story and celebrations of musicality. I give my favorite albums, artists, the flowers they most certainly deserve. Today I'm going to offer you a taste of what to expect from my new podcast. I'm Finally Doing This. I wake up in my full-size bed after a long night of rotating between Twitter and YouTube. The talk of the timeline was the Grammys. People debated nominations, wins, and if a performance was good or bad. My timeline was filled with black gay male stands, so needless to say, I was thoroughly entertained. I was really excited to see the performances over anything else, really. However, the Grammys didn't release them that night, so I went to sleep. As I opened my eyes to the light peeking through my blinds, I immediately think, check YouTube, because I wanted to see the performances from last night. So I'm just now waking up, my eyes barely being able to process the bright screen beaming into my eyes. I'm scrolling through my subscriptions, and there it is, the video of Silk Sonic's first live performance. I had heard the track that they were performing a week before, which was a couple days before my birthday. I liked the track a lot when I heard it, but I was in the mood for some bald head hoe shit to celebrate my birthday. So a little bit more old school stylings just didn't tap into me at the moment. But I immediately tapped the video when I saw it. My eyes are still very tired, trying their best to stay open, and then tears. I swiped them away from my face, not thinking much of them because of how tired my eyes already had been. So I get up and I start getting ready for work. After I'm all dressed and ready for work, I go to my car, hop in, and I decide to pull up the performance to hear it through my car's sound system because, you know, it'd be banging in my car. And again, I was brought to tears. This time I was aware that I was actually crying instead of just, you know, that morning watery eye shit. Joy bubbled up inside of me as I listened to the track. The arrangement, the vocals, the lyrics, and that ending. I was incredibly touched by how beautiful this music came together and how honestly this song was performed by the two men. The track subsequently became my most listened to for the following weeks, and eventually the duo released the streamable version, and I nearly cried when they made that announcement. So as you can see, a lot of emotions here, a lot of crying. So I was personally perplexed about what exactly made me cry. Like, what exactly made me so moved by this song that brought me to tears? And then it hit me. So let's dive in. First, the arrangement is just gorgeous. The styling of the track everything. It's a complete breath of fresh air. This type of music has a definite retro feel, more like from the times of the 60s through the 90s. Some Motown, just beautiful. This type of music had a deep emphasis on luscious arrangements and beautiful instrumentation that was very instrumental to the music of this time. There wasn't as many tools to create sounds in their recording process. They usually live recorded their entire band and sometimes orchestras. Vocals had to have presence to keep up with the larger than life instrumentation. For a very honest quality to it, it was grand, it was luscious, it was emphatic. As time went on, though, many musicians allowed the advancement of technology to replace some of that honesty. Sounds started to be created by programs. Background singers all but disappeared, and singers themselves started to rely on pitch correction and EQ process to bring qualities to their voice they couldn't perform easily, to put it nicely. Music from the olden day was more costly and painstaking to make, leading to creators shifting away from traditional recording processes rapidly. The sound of today's top 100 resembles very little to the 60s through early 90s, maybe some of the 90s, but as time goes on, it's even less and less resemblance. Growing up as a kid in the 2000s, I found myself not connected to music unless it was more soulful and sang by a woman. I was rarely drawn to any music that was on the radio, and I just didn't connect with most of what was considered like popular music. But I did like more old stylings of music for whatever reason. You know, bitches was probably just born with an old somber soul, and I'm bitches. Leaves the Door Open, however, leans into incorporating many instruments to build out the track. The kicks from the drums, the piano keys dancing on the track, the layered backgrounds all come together to craft the ambiance and sound that harkens back to the more intricately arranged music of Motown. See, it just feels so good. Another aspect of the song that is so beautiful is the vocals. From the vocal arrangement to the runs to the harmonies, textures, and belts. I love a good belt. While this is Silk Sonic's first song they've released, and I don't have any indications on how they move forward vocally, this song and performance really proved to me that they got this. I don't have anything to worry about. Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars sit in two totally different arenas vocally. It'd be like Summer Walker and Whitney Houston getting on a song together. And finding a comfortable middle ground would be quite hard for such totally different dynamics of singers. In my head, either the styling of this music and or the range of this vocals would have to be sacrificed. However, I don't know. These niggas are so smart. Silk Sonic thoroughly surprised me. Anderson .Paak vocal register seemed to fall on the lower side. Also, his delivery is much more softer and raspy. He leans heavily into the character his voice has. He's so sexy. He's tonally kind of musky in a way. Not musty, musky. And simultaneously childlike. It's so interesting. He has almost a squeak in his voice that makes his delivery feel very genuine, youthful, while still sounding cool and sexy. In a row, I look too good to be alone. My house clean, my pool warm. I just shake smooth like a newborn. We should be dancing romance. Bruno Mars' voice is entirely different here. His voice is just soaring. He immediately burst onto the track belting.
I ain't playing no games. Every word that I say is coming straight from the heart. So if you try to lay in these cards, I'ma leave the door open.
Bruno shifts from belting to speech level to belting to falsetto to back to belting. His voice is just dynamic, and he's singing way harder than Anderson, yet it works. My only guess to why it works is the carefully constructed arrangement and them probably spending many a nights really trying to figure out how to best portray and showcase both of their voices and the songs that they wrote and the music that they produced. Having Anderson on the verses and Bruno on the hook works perfectly here too. Anderson is the build up and the cool down in a way. He gets us ready for that next big belt from Bruno or calms us down right after it. Also, Anderson brings the majority of the character and charisma. If the song was set up in a way to make Anderson to have to compete vocally, it would be a tough day for Anderson. However, I think letting Anderson lean into character and tonality was the perfect decision, allowing Bruno to be the belter, offering impactful and aggressive belts while soaring and clear at the same time. Them harmonizing at the end is what I always wait for. It's been so long since I heard two males duet on a song together and both be actually singing, as we niggas like to say, singing.
Waiting for you.
It's especially impactful for me how they both execute that last note.
You.
Where Anderson is essentially the sauce to Bruno Mars's dressing. I don't know if that makes sense, but to me it does. It just sounds good, and it has this feeling that music from decades ago does. It just feels warm and filling and beautiful, and like eating soul food or eating Thanksgiving with family. It just feels good. It just So it's obvious this song was written for the ladies, which is exactly why it hits this final chord. I didn't know it did till I listened for like probably the 100th time. It reminded me what I like about men. Saying that makes me a little emotional, and I feel really silly for that, but it's so true. I don't know. So many men today wear such a tough exterior that it makes them uncomfortable to be around sometimes. Recently, I've just been finding myself more and more disinterested in men in general, just talking to them, hanging with them, looking to partner with them. I wasn't sure if I even wanted to partner with them anymore, sleep with them, or even speak to them. However, and I know this is a big buy for this song, but like a big job for it. But this song, I don't know, kind of reintroduced to me what I like about men. The lyrical content in the arrangement is goofy in like the sweet, heartfelt way. Like it's, I don't know, and I can't help but smile when I listen to Anderson plead for his woman to come over, or hearing him passionately beg for her to come over. It was just endearing to me. It was smooth. It was a touch quirky and goofy and funny. It's literally like my ideal man, like. So I met this guy, and he has this wonderful energy. Like he has kind of like it's so weird to say, but he has like a softness to his eyes. Like I could tell when he looks at me, he's really looking at me. He is like trying to get like he well, I don't know if it's trying or if it's easy for him, but I could tell he's conscious about like my pronouns and things of that nature. He's incredibly funny. Like I know I make other people laugh all the time, but I go to like mess with him, and then I end up being the one with the most cracked face or whatever, and I end up laughing uncontrollably. He just feels nice, and he feels sweet and like enjoyable. But and it's funny because this isn't even somebody that I'm even trying to create something past just like a platonic relationship with. He has a girlfriend, and also I'm got my own stuff going on, my own little things going on. But it's just I don't know. It feels nice to just have somebody make you feel kind of light. You know what I mean? It was actually me getting to know him to actually like spark in me what made me like the song so much. And it was he kind of reminded me all of the good things about guys and like how fun they can be and how light going, how men can almost be a refreshing breath of air sometimes when you're stuck in your own world of like getting things done and all this other stuff. Somebody that's not serious and you know it's still respectful, but wants to like I don't know brighten your day and like just show you incredible energy. I feel like I do that all the time for people, and you know I don't think it's everybody's gift, and I think I just came across a guy that like naturally does that, and I feel like that's what that song does for me. It's just makes me walk away with a smile every time. I don't know, like it's so hard to describe. It's like the good time that you give into, even though you know that it might be beneath you. He still makes it seem like it'll be an enjoyable time. So you join in on the fun and you smile for a while. And then I'm sure the next day you wake up and you're like, oh, this nigga sucks. But in the moment, you really enjoyed yourself. And with that final moment, guys, I've come to the end of my review slash analysis of the song and also why I love it so much. This was such a fun conversation. I don't know, I have fun doing this. It was fun even editing this podcast episode for you guys, and I'm really excited for I'm finally doing this. The rebranding of it and how I've kind of figured out exactly how I want it to go. And I hope this is even more of an enjoyable experience for you than the first time around. So, yes, continue to listen. I appreciate all the support. It's funny because in this interim time where I took a break off, I've reached over 100 views on this podcast, Growing Celestially, and I still get views from or listens from my other podcast. I'm finally growing from the first 3 episodes that I put out that I will be redoing in this new format, but I still get listens from them a year later. I haven't even marketed that podcast or anything like that, and it has fans in India and all types of all other places around the world. So that's just so interesting to me, and I'm hoping that you guys like it. I feel like I'm striking gold, and I just love that I get to express myself in a new way. So thank you for joining me on this journey, and be expecting new episodes coming for the from May all the way until June, July. I think I take another break in August. So you got a bunch of episodes coming in the summer, and I'm going to be talking about some really fun, interesting things. And also I'll be having some guest or guest like appearances. Y'all know me. I love y'all. Y'all stay blessed, and thank you so much. Bye.